You can start. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Apologies. I'll be speaking in English. Um, Hopefully, everyone can be able to understand me. So, let me just share my slides, share my screen, and share my slides so that we can start. Um,
There is some wine sound on your microphone, it seems.
okay. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Just
Great.
sometimes we can hear the wine also.
Oh, okay. There's background noise, right?
Hmm?
Is there background noise?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Well, is it better now?
Yeah, you can go ahead. No worries.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Tiana Peter. I'll be talking to you about introduction to Bitcoin Development Kit. Um, I'm a software engineer and an open source contributor. I contribute to BDK. Um, in this session, we are going to look at the BDK project as a whole. We'll cover the history of BDK. We'll look at some of the features of BDK. We'll also look at some of the libraries that BDK currently have. And then we be able to, if we have time, we can be able to go through a little demo on how to be able to use BDK to perform various functionalities. And then we'll take questions and then I will share some resources. Yeah, the project BDK was started in the year 2019 by Aleskos Fellini and Steve Myers. So they both independently were working on the same idea until when they were able to meet and decided that, okay, they were working on the same idea to try to create a project that makes it easy for people to be able to build wallets, most especially mobile wallets on Bitcoin. The essence was that before then, there was Rust Bitcoin, and Rust Bitcoin was a little bit difficult. It's defined low level primitives on Bitcoin core. So it's a little bit difficult for someone to be able to build fast build wallet or any other application on Bitcoin using Rust and using the library Rust Bitcoin. So they wanted to create the entire project that will make it very easy for anyone to be able to, with anyone that you don't necessarily need to have the rudimentary knowledge of Bitcoin for you to be able to build applications on Bitcoin. So that was the entire purpose. Uh, and as I've stated earlier, this BDK project is built on Rust Bitcoin library. I'll be talking shortly about Rust Bitcoin, but Rust Bitcoin kind of define the primitives, Bitcoin primitives, things like you have things like the block, you have things like serialization, deserialization, and all that's available in Bitcoin Core. So they were able to write them in Rust so that people can be able to use them. But it's quite difficult to use Rust Bitcoin to, if you don't understand Bitcoin, if you don't master Bitcoin, it will be very difficult to build, let's say, a wallet application on Rust Bitcoin. So the BDK project now take that Rust Bitcoin, add a lot of define a lot of functionalities and features that makes it easy for anyone to be able to build any application on Bitcoin. Yeah, and the BDK project is open source. That means that anyone can be able to make contribution to it. Anyone can to put the code base, be able to look at what has been implemented. If you like a particular feature, you can be able to be able to pull it down, check how it's implemented, and then also has MIT and Apache licenses, which means that you have the right to be able to pull the code and be able to use it in any way that uh, you can be able to that will be useful to you. Yeah. Um, Next, we are looking at some of the features of BDK. Yeah. So, like I said earlier, BDK project took the Rust Bitcoins built on the foundation of Rust Bitcoin, and some of those features that they have added, they build that make it easy for you and I to be able to build applications. You have things like the wallet. The wallet API is what is able to create what we call a wallet that you can be able to hold your keys and be able to generate addresses and be able to do all that. Right? You have transaction. You can be able to build transactions, and then you can be able to list out all the transactions that have been performed by your keys. And then it exposes what is called a TX builder struct that you can be able to use to build transactions. Then it also contains a blockchain client. So this blockchain client is like, assuming that you build a wallet and you want to be able to uh, go to the blockchain. Bitcoin as a network consists of the blockchain, which is a peer-to-peer network. So when you make transactions for your wallet to be able to have record of what is happening on the blockchain, it needs to connect to the blockchain. And there are certain clients that BDK has exposed for you to be able to do that easily. We'll be looking at some of them as we proceed in the session. But we have the BDK Explorer, we have things like BDK Electrum that connects you to an Electrum server. We have even for it also exposes even Bitcoin D. You can be able to, if you are running a Bitcoin D node, you can easily be able to connect uh, your wallet to Bitcoin D and be able to talk to it. And it also even exposes a compact block filter client called Toto, right? So you can be able to connect to a CBF client and be able to send your transactions and be able to get transaction history from the blockchain. Then it also exposes what is called descriptors. So describe the express conditions of um, your wallet, right? So let's say that you want to describe a policy whereby out of three possible persons, you want two people to be able to sign a transaction. So you have two of three multi-sig. You can be able to write a descriptor that expresses those pending conditions. And then you can also have multiple, it could even be a single signature kind of wallet. And then you can be able to expose that as a string. And you just need to feed that into your wallet, and then you can be able to create a wallet based on that descriptors. Then we also have what is called the FFI. So they are called language bindings. So BDK has exposed, BDK is primarily written in Rust programming language, but it has made the APIs, these APIs have been translated into other programming languages like Python, like Swift, so that those that are using other programming languages can be able to um, build applications on BDK in their own languages that they are comfortable with. And then BDK also have pluggable databases, so which means you can be able to switch from one database to another depending on your needs. But at the moment, it currently supports SQLite and the file store database. Then BDK also adds certain features to the PSBT, partially signed Bitcoin transactions. So this is a fantastic standard transaction standard whereby, let's say you construct a transaction and you want to be able to pass that transaction around for other parties to be able to add their signatures or whatever. Or you want to have a situation whereby you want to pass that transaction to a hardware wallet to be able to sign that transaction. So you can construct that transaction in this standard called PSBT, and it is easier for any device to be able to read and understand that transaction. So yeah, PSBT has been defined as a standard in Rust Bitcoin, but the BDK library has added a lot of features that makes it easy for you to be able to work with PSBTs. And then it also has certain features that you can be able to use to manage your UTXOs. Even though your typical wallet, BDK wallet, doesn't save your private keys, but it can be able to, it saves, it derives what is called public descriptors of these keys that it's able to use to, it be able to keep track of your UTXOs on spent transaction outputs. Yeah. Um, we also have things like the balance. So the balance is a struct. When I talk about struct, it's like a definition that helps you to be able to know the balance, and it is expressed in different formats. You can express it in Bitcoin, you can express it in SATs and whatever, and then you can be able to, however, you can get confirmed balances, you can get pending balances, you can be able to know whether the balance is actually originating from your own wallet or is from a third party and all that, right? We also have a fee estimation algorithms. So BDK exposes a fee estimation algorithm that helps you to be able to estimate your fees. Then it also have syncing ability. You can be able to sync your wallet. Syncing is you being able to send, um, let's say you construct a transaction and you want to be able to broadcast that transaction, right? You can be able to, when you broadcast that transaction, you send it to the network, and then you also collect the latest information about regarding your keys into your wallet, right? So what you are doing is what is called syncing. I already spoke about compact block filters in the other features when I was talking about um, when I was talking about blockchain clients. I talked about BDK culture. So we have a client that is built on compact block filters, which is BIP 157 and BIP 158. There's a client that happens to do that. Then we also have pluggable signers. Yeah, so I put a question mark there because in the next release of version of OK, the signing, the pluggable signer is going to be removed from the library, so that users can, it makes it easier for users to be able to plug in directly from Rust Bitcoin to be able to sign their transaction. So whatever form that you want to sign your transactions, can be able to do that. And then BDK also supports the miniscript. So miniscript is uh, a more kind of verbose form of script programming language that is used in Bitcoin to be able to express locking conditions of your coin. So you could be able to use miniscript to be able to um, state some of these policies that you want in your own for your own particular locking scripts. So you can actually write miniscript directly in BDK, and in fact, BDK actually offers it in a more suitable manner for you to be able to accomplish that. Then you have coin selection algorithm. So there are several coin selection algorithms in BDK that you can be able to use. Let's say you want to construct a transaction, you can actually be able to specify uh, which algorithm, how it should select coins. You can state that I should select old first, or you should select however that you want. There are so many algorithms, coin selection algorithms that are available in BDK. And then BDK also incorporates what is called OP return, which helps you to be able to add data to your transactions. So recall that OP return on Bitcoin Core helps you to be able to, when you construct a transaction and you want to add, let's say, a comment on that particular transaction, whatever data that you have, you can be able to construct a transaction and add data using OP return in BDK. Yeah, so I'm going to pause here a little bit before I talk about some of the libraries that we have in BDK. Let me hear if there is any question so far. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, we are still following you. No worry.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm checking the chat if there's any question. Anybody has dropped any question? Okay. Uh,
Hi, my name is
hello.
Beno. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, according to the hackathon, we can build, from what I understood, is we could have just a mock-up. My question is, if we have a mock-up, could we refer to the BDK perhaps in our illustration or as part of the rules? Is it necessary that we must um integrate the BDK to our project or our solution? Is it okay if we just reference it like we have a build or like a mockup or something, but then the BDK is part of it, but you can't visually see that like it's, I don't know if my question makes sense, but
Yeah, but is the GitHub repo public?
sorry, say that again.
The GitHub repo of your project, is it public?
Yes, it is.
So if it is public, we can see the implementation of BDK in your code, isn't it?
No, my question is because I am running out of time, and with where I am right now, I don't think I'll be able to have a full project before the deadline. So I'm asking
Okay.
if I could, my team and I could submit just a mock-up, like um,
Yeah,
not
I understand. I
no
understand.
code, just like an
But
illustration of what we have. But
I
then,
think I think you can submit your mockup and then make your GitHub profile of the project public so we can see the evolution of your
okay,
project. You see what I mean?
I
And
see.
in the description of your project, you can specify like this is what you intend to do in the future with BDK or another framework in your project.
And one last question, just to be sure, we can submit like just a visual, right? Like it doesn't have to be a full project. It can just be like an illustration, mock-up or something, right?
Yeah, but alongside the GitHub repo of your project, because we want to see code also.
Okay, great.
Because I mean, if we do not see code, it can be just something that have been designed. So it is not fair to the other people who build actual things and make their code public, so we can check on it.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for your question. Any other question before we continue? Okay, great. Yeah, so back to our presentation. Um, so I was about to talk.
Can I ask something?
Okay. Someone wants to ask a question.
Okay. Thank you. I want to know if for the integration of the BDK, does the project must be in code in Rust, or I can integrate BDK independently of the language I use?
Okay, so the bindings offers it in other programming languages, not in all languages for now. I think you have Python, you have Swift, you have JavaScript. I think you have, I don't know all the languages, but I will share the link to the bindings where you can be able to find those bindings that have already been that are available for you to be able to use, right? I think there's Swift that's for building mobile applications, building iOS apps. So you can be able to check there to know whether there is a binding available in your own programming language that you might want to build. You don't necessarily need to build it on in Rust. The core code base is built in Rust and then being translated to those other.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you. So I was about to talk about some of the libraries that we have in BDK and what they currently do, right? Yeah, so in BDK, we have languages that we call them the core libraries. The first one we have is the BDK wallet. So if you tap to my previous slide, I talked about some of the features of BDK, and I said it exposes what is called a wallet. So the BDK wallet repository or library basically exposes wallet and some of the components of wallets that you can be able to use. But you are going to have wallets, and then you can choose to create a wallet that has a persistence, which is like a database. You want to save the data in a database or not, right? Uh, yeah, that's what BDK underscore wallet library does. Then you also have the BDK chain. BDK chain defines structures in how that when you pull data from the blockchain, it helps you to be able to receive that data in a structured manner that your own wallet can be able to understand, right? So when it receives data from the blockchain, it pass that data, it's going to apply data to your wallet. And so the BDK chain defines structures that collect that data in a format that your wallet can be able to understand. Then we also have what is called BDK core. So the core contains the rudimentary or the fundamental structures that are shared that are used across all the other libraries. So you might have let's say BDK wallets, BDK chain, BDK TX, and other libraries that need some structures that should be shared commonly among them. So BDK core exposes those, hosts those kind of structures. Then you also have what is called BDK TX. This is a recently added library. Um, and what it aims to do is it aims to add a structure way by which you can be able to construct your transactions. So all transaction, if you tap back, if you recall, I shared where I talked about the TX builder and all that. So the BDK transaction aims to have a more generic way by which you can be able to construct Bitcoin transactions in your wallet, right? So which means that uh, things like the selection algorithm, coin selection algorithm are going to be into that, and all the rest of how you are able to construct a transaction are going to move into what is called the BDKTX library. Um, then we also have the blockchain clients, which I talked about earlier. This should be BDK Koto. Let me This should be BDK. This should be here. Yeah, BDK Koto. That was a mistake from my end. So you have the first one is BDK Explorer. Explorer connects you to most of these blockchain explorers. So you can choose to connect to mempool, you can choose to connect, but there are servers that have been exposed that if you want to be able to connect your wallet to be able to sync your wallet and be able to pull in data that your wallet needs. Anything that your street pop keys, any transaction that your keys are performing, right? You want to be able to fetch that data. You can connect to an Explorer client and then it will be able to fetch that data for you. Then another option is the electron servers. What they do is they index the entire blockchain for you so that you can be able to search and then collect information about any transaction or any data that is related to your keys. So it could be like syncing to get your balances, syncing to get new transactions, syncing whatever data that your wallet needs. You can be able to sync to an Electrum server and then be able to pull that information. And then we also talked about, I also told you about connecting to Bitcoin D. So you can run your own Bitcoin node and then be able to connect. You just need to connect, specify the URL and the port that you want your wallet to be able to talk to that node. So that node can be able to feed data directly to uh, your wallet. Your wallet can be able to fetch information that connects, that relates to any of the keys that is managed by your wallet, right? And then you also have another client called the BDK Koto. So this is a um, compact CBF, compact block filter client. So it runs more like a node, but it's a process that just start on your system and act like a node that helps you to connect privately to other nodes that enables block filtering, right? So when it's talking to other nodes, they might have an understanding that, okay, this is another node, whereas it's just a client that is helping you to be able to talk to, connect to one or two nodes to be able to get information that relates to your wallet in a more private form, right? And it doesn't expose any of your transactions to those other clients. Then we talked about, someone asked a very good question about um, other languages. So we have bindings, we have BDK Swift, the BDK Android, we have the BDK JVM, we have BDK Python. The Android code, I guess it holds Kotlin code for you to be able to write your Android applications. Is for you to be able to write iOS applications. Then you also have things like the JVM and the Python for you to be able to build any application that you want to build using this library. So they are written in those native languages for you to be able to um, play with. Yeah, then you also have some documentation and playground tools that will help you to understand BDK. So we have one of which is called the Book of BDK. The Book of BDK serves as a documentation for all the libraries and how each of these libraries talk to each other, how you can be able to connect to them. It's a very fantastic material that you can be able, that is very helpful if you are trying to understand uh, those libraries that are available in BDK and what they each do, right? So very fantastic material. I'm going to be sharing some code snippets from the book of BDK. It contains certain code snippets that you can be able to like lift it and be able to understand that, okay, this is how this thing works. Then we also have what is called the BDK CLI. So the CLI is a command line binary tool that you can be able to install on your system. Once you have Rust configured on your system, you can be able to install this library. Install this, and then you can be able to, or even if you don't have this thing, you can download the compiled version and be able to play around with on your system. So you can learn so many things with this tool. You can use it to create wallets. You can use it to test things like, I think we are even adding things like hardware wallet, so you can be able to test how to be able to create and sign transactions using a hardware wallet. You can be able to I think there's another PR that is even trying to add silent payment to how you can be able to use these things. Then we also have things like um, other storage that are available, all the options. But it's actually a very fantastic tool that you can be able to use to learn how to play with BDK APIs. And then you can also use it to test some spending policies. Let's say you want to construct uh, spending policies for your particular wallet and you don't know how to be able to test them out. So you can be able to use BDK CLI to be able to do that. Just it's a command line tool that you can actually install on any system, and then you can be able to do that. Yeah, so um, I'm going to share some code. Uh, I want us to look at some of the code that you can be able to see in BDK. So I'm going to open the book of BDK. Do let me know if you can see my code, my editor.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. So let me increase the font size. So I can go into examples, Rush. So you can see that, oh, sorry. I wanted to go into examples, Rust. So you can see that, let me quickly just walk you through some of the directly structures in this book of BDK. So you can actually be able to see that you have things like uh, the docs and then the examples. So if you visit back to my presentation, um, yeah, so let me open a new tab here and then go to book of BDK. Yeah, so you can see that this is the hosted website rather for the book of BDK. So you can see that all the documentation that you have here, this is the docs, and then you can see some code snippets. Let's say you have the BDK wallet, you want to know how to be able to create a wallet. Uh, you can be able to see how each of these guys connects to each other. You can see some of these are descriptor examples. This is when you start writing in Rust. Let's say you are writing it in Swift, you can just be able to change any of this. This is for Kotlin. This is how you can be able to add these dependencies. But this is for Rust, right? And then these are descriptors. This is how you can define descriptors in Kotlin and the rest of them. Then this is how you can be able to create a wallet in Rust. So you can see that this is just as easy as how many lines for you to be able to create a wallet. This is how it's done in Rust. This is Swift and this is Kotlin, right? And then how you can be able to sync that wallet, connect to a client, blockchain client. So you can see in this case, client that are using here is Explorer client. And then you can see that it's connected, sorry, they're using Blockstream Explorer. Sorry, where is that guy? You can see that they're using Blockstream Explorer, rather. That's what I was trying to say. Blockstream Explorer here. And then you can be able to perform a full scan and then apply the update to your wallet and get the balance and all that and all that. So yeah, fantastic material. Um, so this is a code base. You can actually be able to pull this code base, come to the docs. You can see examples. Let's say I want to look at the Rust examples and how you can be able to generate descriptors. I don't know how to generate a descriptor. This is how you can be able to do that. These are very good documentation for you to be able to do that, right? Uh, so you can see that it's actually pulled in. Uh, this is using the BDK wallet library, as you can see. And then you can see that we have uh, things like the network, right? You can be able to check whatever that is here that you don't understand. This is like extended private key. You are deriving it from a seed, right? So you generate a random seed here, and then you derive extended private key from it. Private key, you can be able to, this is just a printout, and then you can get your descriptors. This is for descriptor, and then the change descriptor. So descriptor is used for generating external addresses, while these are for change addresses. And then this is how you can be able to get those descriptors, right? Now, if you look at the example that we looked at, where you talked about the wallet, you can be able to, let me go to the starter phrase, I mean, starter example. You can see that when you have your descriptors available, let me close this. So when you have, let's say you are able to generate your descriptors, right? Then the next thing is for you to, you want to, this is a file database that is being used here. Then you can be able to, this is how you can be able to create a wallet basically. With just a single line of code, you are passing in your external descriptor and internal descriptor, and then you can be able to, whatever network that you want to be able to do. So if you're using private descriptors, you can be able to, private descriptors and public descriptors. Private descriptors help you to be able to sign transactions. This is, if you are loading this from memory, you can be able to load your wallet, and then, or you can create a wallet as the case may be. So if you are loading a wallet, you can load a wallet here and be able to load that part, return the loaded wallet, or you can be able to create that wallet with just a single line of code to be able to create a wallet. And this is exactly the same thing that I was sharing here. You can see how this is loading a wallet, or this is creating a wallet. So it's either load or create. If you have, if you already created a wallet before, it's going to load that wallet, and then it can be able to sync. So this is how the balance, I mean, this is a balance check. You can be able to get the balance here. This is how you can call the balance on your wallet. So you just call wallet or balance. And if you are interested in knowing how this is defined, you can be able to come to, so if you check, this is under BDK chain. If you recall that I talked about the BDK chain library that helps you to define structures that when you pull data from the blockchain, you can be able to express that data, and how your wallet can be able to understand that. So the balance is one of those structures that have been defined in the BDK chain. And then you can look at the various, let's say that you perform a transaction, that transaction has not yet been confirmed. You can see here, or I mean, Coinbase output that have not yet been confirmed. So this is trusted pending that are performed by your own wallet. These are coins that you are receiving from an external wallet, and then this is the confirm amount. So you can be able to check, you can be able to go through the entire code base. By just looking at this, it should be able to help you to understand that, okay, this is how you can be able to create a wallet. This is how you can be able to load a wallet. This is how you can be able to connect to a blockchain client. This is how you're able to get your balance. These are the ways that the balance is being expressed and all that. Yeah, so I wanted to share that code base with you quickly. Um, yeah, so like I said, even if you don't understand Rust, you can be able to do that with your language of choice that is available. Yeah, so I will quickly just take the next. How many minutes do I have, please, remaining, so that I know where we can be able to, where we can start our demo.
Let's say maximum 1 hour and a half.
Okay, okay,
So
maximum of 1 hour. Okay,
for now, we have on 40 minutes.
all right. Hopefully, we are able to do that. It doesn't take that much time. But I'm just going to demo how you can be able to install this BDK CLI tool, how you can be able to generate descriptors. I'm not even going to generate the descriptors there. I can just pull them directly from the book of BDK. how we can be able to use that to pass that to create wallets. We can be able to create addresses, see how we can be able to perform a transaction and then broadcast that transaction, and then we are done. Yeah, so I'm just going to, so I'm going to go back because BDK CLI is a command line tool, like I told you. So if BDK CLI, you can be able to see that. Uh, okay. I hope you can see my screen very well. If I need to enlarge it. Yeah. So there is a tool called the BDK CLI that I want to talk about. Let me quickly go to the website or even to the repository so that I will show you how you can be able to install BDK CLI 2. So I can say BDK CLI. So you are not using, let's say you are not using, where's my screen? Oh, my keys have been, okay, no problem. Hopefully you can be able to see that. But you want to just install BDK CLI as a binary, you can come to crate.io and search for BDK CLI 2, and then you can see the latest version of this tool. So if you have Rust installed on your system, you can just do cargo install directly. You can just copy this guy here, and then you can run it, and then you hit enter, and then it will install the library. Because I've already had it, I mean, mine is already installed and it's the latest version. So it might not be able to install anything new. After downloading and compiling at the end of the day, it might not install. Then let's say you have Rust installed on your system. This is how you can be able to compile that too. Just pull it in and then you can compile it. But if at all you want to be able to go directly to the repository, this is a repository. You can come here. Um, I'm trying to expand this so you can pull in the code base like every other code base, and then you can be able to select certain features that you want to install. So let's say there are so many features that you might want to install. Let's say you want to install a single of one of those blockchain clients that, let's say you want to enable Electrum or Explorer, or you want to be able to enable any of the SQLite database, or we have, which other database do we have? I think we failed to add that to the documentation. Yeah, we have two databases available. Yeah, but you can see that. Yeah, so for me, because I've already installed it, but it replaced the package that was already installed. So I've updated it to version 2.0. So you can be able to do that. And then how do you use this tool? So you can simply just type BDK dash dash help, and sorry, oh sorry, CLI rather, BDK CLI. You can say dash dash help. This can check whether this tool is already has been successfully installed or compiled on your system. And then it also offers you some of the commands that are available, right? So let's say we have the wallet command, the key command, the repo command, and each of them gives you an explanation of what that does. So this wallet, you have anything wallet operations, things like creating wallet, getting wallet policies. We are going to look at some of those operations that are possible under the wallet. Then you also have key management operations where you can be able to generate keys. You can be able to derive public keys from extended private keys. You can be able to do key manipulation and whatever. You're able to do that here. And then you also have things like the compile. I mean, compile needed to be here. We need to improve there are certain things that are not available, I mean, in the documentation, but you can always be able to handle them if you look at the code base. Then you also have things like the repo, which is a command line loop that you can be able to, instead of typing out commands one by one, you can be able to do that. But the most interesting thing that we are going to look at here is how we can be able to work with wallets. Let's say I just came into the project. I want to understand how I'm going to be able to use wallets. I don't know how I can use wallet, so I can just say BDK CLI wallet, and then I can say help. What are the available subcommands under the wallet? You can see that under the wallet, I can be able to create a new address. I can be able to check if there are any unused addresses. It should get me those. Um, it also you can also be able to get record. I talked about UTXOs on spend transaction outputs. This will be able to list out if there are any available UTXOs that you can be able to spend. Then this guy will transactions is going to return the list of all the transactions that have been performed by your wallet. You can use this balance to be able to get the balance of the wallet that you are working with. You can use this to create a transaction. You can use this to bump the fee of your transaction. This return the policies for that part, for the descriptors that have been used to create that wallet, right? And then you can also be able to return the public descriptors available for that particular wallet. You can use this to sign and finalize the transaction and all that and all that. So we are going to use majority of the sub commands under this wallet command and be able to test to see how we can be able to operate with a wallet. And then these are some of the options that you can be able to pass, right? So if you look at this command, let's say you want to use the command sub command option, you can be able to pass it. This is how you can be able to pass it. So you say BDK seller, you say the wallet, these are the options, and then the database and the command. So options are like you can pass, you can be able to pass them, they're optional, but these other types that are here are required, right? Let's say like things like the database are required. So I'm going to create a wallet. I'm going to create a wallet, and then because of the time it takes to fund a wallet, I will use another existing wallet, but I want to show you how to be able to create a wallet. Let's say um, I want to be able to use this tool. Uh, this is the BDK. I want to be able to use it to generate descriptors, right? I just want to get the descriptors here and then be able to use that descriptors to be able to create a wallet. So I have two descriptors. So I can say just simply say cargo run. Record that I can even change. Let's say I want to be able to generate descriptors that you can see that this is testnet 4, right? These are testnet 4 descriptors. So um, testnet 4 has already been, I mean, it has been enabled in BDK CLI. So you can see that it generated some descriptors for me to be able to use, right? So I just want to get some descriptors that I can be able to use to generate a wallet, right? If I wanted, I can change this. Let's say I'm testing, I want to test on testnet, right? I can change this from here to, I mean, to Signet rather. Let's say I want to use Signet. I can change this code base to Signet and reply. That's the flexibility that I have because it's a documentation, right? Yeah, so but we have testnet 4 descriptors that have been generated. So I'm going to, so you can see that it brings you both the private descriptors and the public descriptors. So let's say we want to be able to use the private descriptors. We can say this is, we copy this guy here and then let me pull in, where's my command line? Yeah. So this is my command line. I want to be able to create a wallet. So I can say BDK CLI wallet. But before I can specify the wallet, there are some optional commands, the network. So I can type dash network or dash n to represent the network. And because I'm using testnet 4 network, I can pass in testnet 4 there. But it also, because let's say assuming that I'm compiling this newly, right? I can be able to state in the features that I want. Let's say I want certain features like Explorer. I want to be able to use SQLite database and all that. So I can be able to do that. But this has already been compiled with all the features available. So I can just say wallet, but I specify the network. And then I can say that E, recall that E here is representing external descriptor, right? So recall that we just copied this external descriptor here. So I can just paste it here. I don't know whether we copied with, oh, okay. So I can just copy this particular descriptor here, value that the private descriptor here. Uh, and then I can say that I, so you can check here, you can see that this is internal descriptor. And then I also have a value for, so you just need, sometimes you just need a single descriptor. Let's say you don't want your wallet. This helps the wallet to be able to distinguish between when you want to create, change, um, change addresses and generate external addresses. External addresses are addresses that you can give out to other people to be able to send you Bitcoin, right? But when your wallet perform a transaction and it want to be able to receive back change, it generates what is called an internal a change address, right? So it uses this key to be able to generate those addresses, right? So I've pasted that as well, and then I can be able to say I want the database dash D. Recall, you can see that this is database type dash D. I can say SQLite, and then the client type that I want to use, as client is indicated here. The client type, let's say I want to use Explorer, and then the address of that Explorer. I think that's okay. Okay, I didn't enable, did I enable all my features? I'm not sure, but let me test this out. Let's say I want to use the mempool dot space slash testnet 4 testnet 4 slash API. I'm not sure about this address, but I want to be able to create a wallet and get, let's say I want to be able to get policies or public descriptor of this wallet. I can just say public underscore descriptor, right? Can you see that? And then I will hit enter. Oh, okay. Expected argument C. Okay, so when I was installing when I reinstalled this guy, I did not enable all features, right? Like I told you. So if you go back to this guy here, I mean, if you come back to the instruction on the, okay, I'm using the network that is. If you come back on this instruction, you can always install and specify all the features that you want it to run, right? So I want to reinstall again because I did not enable all the features or any of the features at all. So it just compiled without any feature. So I can just say cargo install dash dash all features. But recall that I told you that if you want to specify single features, let's say I want to just use Explorer, I want to use SQLite, I want um, I want let's say CBF, which is compact block filter feature, and any of them, all the features I want, I can be able to just list them out. But because I want to be able to play around with all the features, interchange them as I want, I can just type dash dash all features and then ask it to reinstall. So that is quickly doing that. That was the reason why you have dash C here, uh, unexpected argument, because I compiled it without adding enabling any of the features that we can use. So I'm trying to recompile it again. Why that is going on, while the installation is going on, recall that there are some options. So if you look at when I type BDK CLI, there are some top level options that you can pass before you can pass a command. So you saw that I was passing things like the network there, the data, I mean, we have the data directly, but this is like pretty optional. Let's say you want to be able to print out outputs, right? You can be able to type that as pretty on every command, and then it will be able to print it out for you. Um, so that was why you could see that I typed in dash n here because I wanted to specify the network type, because you have the option of these options. But if you don't set them, let's say like the network, I forgot to set the network, it will automatically set to a default value of testnet, right? And all that. But basically, what I wanted you to take away from this entire demo is that you can be able to use this to be able to play with it. And if let's say you want to, you are looking at being able to create a wallet, right? And you can just call a wallet and then it will create, and you want to see how that is handled, how that is being done internally, right? Because you want to be able to build on this thing. How can I be able to create a wallet? So when you type in a wallet command and you want it to create, that is actually done in the handlers. So you can be able to come to command. So you can see this is the CLI command, this is the key, this is the compile. This was okay. This was not available because I did not enable any of the features, right? But you can see this is the wallet sub command. You can see that where we are performing the entirety of the wallet operations. Let's say this is handle wallet command. So you can be able to check, come here and see how that is all being done. But you can come here. Let me go to the utils. That is where you can be able to. I want you to be able to explore the code base, be able to see that, okay, when I want to create a wallet, how do I do that? What is happening? When I just tell it to create connect to um, a blockchain client, what is happening behind the scene, right? So you can see that this is when you want to create a wallet and be able to persist it, you can be able to see that this is what is happening at the end, right? You can also see that if you want to create a wallet, yeah, this is how wallets are. This is the values that you are passing in as external descriptor and internal descriptors. Then you want to check if those values exist and you can load that wallet, right? You are trying to check. Okay, so this is actually saving this in the this thing. So I mean, in your directly, there's a file that it saves it. If it checks and it loads that file, you can be able to. Okay, this is actually this code base has not been merged, so maybe the things some of the things are not yet on there. But let me go to the repository. So you can come to the repository here. You can be able to check. Somehow my screen. Let me be able to zoom in. I want you to understand. If you can take away one thing from this entire demo, I want you to be able to understand how each and every this single command is handled, right? So you can be able to. I was trying to show you um, how wallet creation happens, right? Where is the logic that handles wallet creation? Because you are interested in trying to create a wallet. Let's say you are in your own submission that your hackathon, you want to create a wallet. How do you can create a wallet? So there are two database options. We have the SQLite database and the ArrayDB database, which is like a key store value database type. So this is how that database is created and saved into memory, right? So you can be able to check this code base and be able to say, okay, this is what is happening. This is how I can be able to create a wallet. This is how I can be able to pass the descriptor to the wallet function and is able to create. So assuming that I pass it a single key, this is how it's going to handle the single key creation logic and all that, right? Yeah, so I'm sure that this guy has completed. So let's go back again. BDK CLI. If I type this, I should be able to see the compile command exactly. So why? Because all the features are now enabled, right? So I'm going to tap back to that guy that we tried, and then I will try it one more time. Network mismatch. Okay. Oh, all right. So the essence is the reason is because I did not validate a name, right? Recall that whatever that you are using has, you want to give it a name. So I can be able to type in the wallet name. They say, I mean, sometimes when you are looking at this, it might look a little bit confusing because there are so many things that are happening on the command line. You want to be able to simplify this and push a lot of things to the background so that you only just need to specify them once. So I can say, yeah, so
Okay.
I was, yeah, thank you. So I was trying to say that you can be able to pass in the wallet name. Let's say you use that .w. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's say we want to be able to say this is demo underscore. What name should be even DK, and then you can push this. So what happened here? So why am I passing in -w? Recall that I told you that you can be able to say BDK wallet dash help. What happened? So you can be able to see that you need to specify a wallet name. So what I passed in here, look at the command here, and this is the output, right? So what I pass in here is demo underscore DK. So I don't need to I no longer need to pass all these guys because it has already saved the external descriptors of this particular descriptors that the public descriptors rather public descriptors of these descriptors are passed in here, and then is able to uh, use that to be able to derive the public descriptors, and then from there I can be able to perform anything that I want to do. So let's say I want to be able to check. I can say dash wallet, and then I want to be able to check derive a new address, right? So let me just tap back quickly to that guy. So all I just need to do is say new underscore address. That's a key, and then you can see that it generates an address for me. I can be able to use this and fund this address so I can be able to have some funds to be able to use, right? And this is a testnet address, so I just need to go to a testnet faucet and be able to get some coins to be able to use. And then let's say I also want to, which other options do we have here? We will have things like the full scan, the sync, the broadcast, unused addresses. So you can even use your unused address. Let's say you type in unused underscore address. So because this address has not been used and it's generated, so anytime that you type in a new address, it will increase the index and then generates that address for you, right? So you can be able to, let's say you want to be able to use an address that was generated but hasn't been used before. You can use the unused command, and your wallet is able to expose all this for you to be able to. Um, and then we can also be able to check if there are any unspent UTXOs. So you can just say unspent, right? And then you can see that it returned nothing. So let's say I even pass dash as pretty on this guy. Let's say I pass dash as pretty so it will be able to print out in a pretty format for us. Uh, 1 minute. I want to sometimes I need to save this guy in memory so that it's easier for me, but um, I needed to do that so that it's easier for me to be able to tap back to any part of the command. But let's say I want this guy to print out in a pretty format. I can just type dash pretty, and then it will be able to print in a tabular format for me. So let's say I want to be able to get balances. Um, this is balance. You can see that the total amounts available, the confirmed, the unconfirmed, and all that. So yeah, because of the time that sometimes when you are looking for faucets to be able to spend, it takes a little bit of time. I think I have one funded wallet here that I want us to be able to use quickly to be able to construct a transaction, be able to get a faucet and then be able to send that transaction to the network, sync it to the network. So I'm looking for the wallet. So I was testing a PR. So I'm just going to quickly say BDK CLI. I want to use Signet because that was used on a Signet. And then I want to use the wallet option. So the name of that wallet that I created is SP. So I can actually be able to, let's say I created a lot of wallets and I don't know where each of these wallets is. So I can be able to list out all the wallets under dash.bdk Bitcoin. So you can see that these are all my test wallets that I have. So I want to be able to use this guy to test because this guy has some funds, right? So that's the wallet I'm using. So I want to say dash sp underscore signet one, and this wallet, let me just copy this guy here and be able to use it directly instead of typing out the entire command. I have the wallet. uh, I want us to be able to check the balance of this wallet. um, Cargo. Oh, this was the reason why it's failing is because I was compiling it directly from the repository. So that's why you see cargo run, right? So because we are using installed one, the installed version of it on my system, that's why we can be able to run it as BDK CLI as a program, and my system can be able to understand, right? So I'm going to just change this guy from here. I'm going to change this guy. I just need to all this guy features. So you can see that what I was telling you earlier is you can be able to state the features. Let's say in this, when I was testing this, I say the features I want to use is Explorer and the SQLite. You can see that there. So I can say BDK CLI, BDK CLI, and then I can be able to specify the network. And then you can see that here I have some funds. So I want us to be able to spend these funds, right? We want to send it back to a faucet address. Let me print this out, this balance out in a pretty format so that it's easier for us to be able to understand. So you can see that the confirmed amount here is you have 300,000 sats, right? 300,000 sats. So let's just construct a transaction quickly and then be able to send it back to the network. I want to show you how this transaction is being constructed. So that's pretty, and then you can put in the balance there. So let's say I want to create a transaction, create TX, and I don't know which options to pass when I want to create a transaction. You can always call the help. So I can just type that subcommand. This is create TX and then pass the help command at the end of it. It will show me what and what is required. So you can see that the options required to create a wallet here are: one, you can specify the dash TO. You can send, if you want to send all the money, you can enable RBF. This is enabled by default. Let's say you want to be able to sign this on a hardware wallet, you can specify dash offline signer so that there's a way that you be able to construct that particular transaction. You want to use a specific UTXOs in your wallet, right? That you want them to be spent, right? So you can pass this. This is one of the parts of uh, coin selection algorithm that is used. And then you want to specify certain coins as unspendable. You can just pass in this. You want to check set a fee rate. You don't want the wallet to do that automatically for you. You can be able to set that when you are constructing that transaction. And then you can add the string, which is the OP return. Sorry, add string. But the OP return that I was talking about, look at it here. You can be able to add data that you want it to be able to like send to the network, right? Yeah, so these are the options that are available for you to be able to create a transaction. So what we need a recipient, and it's expressed in form of address and the SAT. So let's say I just put dash O here. It means I want to send everything, but I don't want to spend everything. So I'm just going to go to faucet. I think I have some of them open. I want to get an address so that I can be able to spend those coins back to the faucet. So I have some faucets here open. I'm just quickly going to grab an already used recycle address, one of them that I can be able to. So what I'm doing here is just to copy an address I want to be able to construct a transaction with. So I can say create tx dash dash t. Remember dash to, right? And then how do I express it? Address, and then so I can just paste in this address. We have 300,000 sats, so I can send it 100 sats, 100,000 sats back to that address, right? If I every other thing is optional, so I will just hit enter, and then it creates a PSBT for me, right? With this PSBT, I can be able to sign this PSBT because I'm using private key. So I can just copy this guy. And then how do you sign a transaction? I don't know how to sign a transaction, for instance. I can say, help show me how to sign a transaction. So these are the options. You can see that you can pass, all you just need is to pass in this PSBT base 54, and then it is sign it for you. The rest of them. So you can see that sign, these are the options under sign, and then you pass in the PSBT. You want to assume the height, it should assume a height and all that stuff. So I'm going to say sign, and then I will pass in this guy. Okay, what I wanted to copy was this guy here. So I'm doing everything rudimentary, like I didn't, I'm not saving it. So it's a little bit long. Oh, that was a mistake. But I want to be able to sign this particular PSBT. Um, yeah, that's the step. I have a double quote there. That's what I want to remove. Um, we should be done in the next 10 minutes. I just want to be able to finish constructing this transaction, signing it. We already constructed the transaction. I'm going to just sign it, and then we broadcast it to the network. Um, so we are at the final stage of our demo. But the most important thing recall is that I want you to understand that everything that is happening here, the code base is available for you to be able to just see it out and be able to. So this transaction has been signed, so you can see that it is signed is true. Uh, the finalized PSBT, you can see it here, right? The next thing is for me to be able to broadcast this transaction. I can extract a raw transaction from this and then broadcast it, or I can just broadcast it and then it will handle the entirety of that. So I can say broadcast. Um, so remember, if you don't know the commands offhand, you can just type in dash dash help, right? You can see that this is the broadcast um, command. So you can see, where is it? You can see broadcast. There's no broadcast yet, so but you can be able to see that. So I can say broadcast and then dash dash help, and then I can say I can either pass it as PSBT or TX, right? So I can say that's PSBT, and then I will pass in the, I don't know that I copied. the signed transaction. Where is our signed transaction? So this is our signed transaction. So I'm going to copy this guy from guy here, and then I'll come here and then I'll paste it, right? Um, relative URL without base. Okay. So which means that the URL that we type is wrong. So if you go back to our URL, I mean, this might appear a lot to you. Um, what is happening here is that the URL that I typed was not having HTTP or HTTPS, which of the protocol is using. That's what the error is saying, right? So I want to be able to go back to where we type the Explorer URL and be able to fix that error. Um, yeah, so HTTPS, right? And then this is the transaction has been broadcasted, right? So we can be able to come to mempool.space, mempool.space. Um, so we are on Signet. I want us to be able to look at the Signet. So I can be able to put in this guy here. You can see that our transaction was broadcasted successfully and is unconfirmed, right? You can see that it's just been broadcasted now. You cannot see the value, but you can see that it's taproot transaction. And then I can be able to sync this wallet. So how do I sync this wallet? I can be able to say sync. Uh, I still need to, I didn't correct this here, HTTPS. So I can call sync here. What is happening is it's scanning the network to be able to see what has happened to the keys that the wallet controls. So I can check the balance. You can see that the total that we had there was 300,000 sats. You can see that it's now around 200 sats, 200,000 sats, and this is trusted pending. Why? Because it is recall that when you create a transaction, you are spending part of the money and setting the wallet automatically handled the change back to your wallet, right? That is why it is saying trusted pending, right? But the rest of the other guy it's pending because it hasn't been confirmed yet, right? So by the time this guy is confirmed on the blockchain, you can be able to sync it and see that, yeah, it will now move from pending to confirmed, and that is the amount that you have left. So anytime you want to be able to check, go take a round trip to the blockchain to check, you can be able to just call sync, and then it will be able to help you do that until when that transaction has been completed. Yeah, so back to our slides. Recall that we learned how to be able to install BDK CLI. We learned how to be able to what descriptors are and where you can be able to why you need them to be able to create your wallet. We look at how to create a wallet. We generated an address. We sync the address. We created a transaction, and then we broadcasted that transaction to the network. Yeah, so that's the end of my demo. I'm going to end it at this point, and then I'll take questions. If there are any questions, then I will share the resources, and then we'll be done with the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think it was quite interesting. I know for people that don't know really well Rust, or people that saw this for the first time, can be quite overwhelming, a lot of information at the same time. But I think it was pretty clear from the basics, if I can say. So I don't know if you have something to add for those people that want to use BDK to build an app. What are like the best practice to start with?
Okay. Yeah, so bidding wallet, thank you for the compliments. So building wallet is always a process, right? I have opened the code base. I showed you how to be able to create a wallet, but there are certain best practices for you to be able to use when you are creating a wallet. First, you need to answer the question of where are you going to store your secret keys? Because you're not just going to expose those secret keys to anybody. Because anybody that have access to your keys is always going to take out the funds. So you need to answer that question, how you can be able to save your keys. When you're able to do that, you can be able to create a transaction and be able to, because you're using PSBT, it's easy for you to be able to connect to that. Let's say you are even using a hardware wallet. You can be able to connect that and then transfer that PSBT to your own hardware wallet and it will understand and sign that particular transaction. There are other certain things that you also need to do. Another thing is you need to decide. So you want to create a wallet. What is the blockchain client that you want to use? It's a question that you need to answer, and it's not just something that you need to answer. Let's say in the Electrum server or the Explorer server, they are fantastic servers. You can always be able to broadcast transactions. You can be able to sync your wallet, but at the end of the day, that client that you are talking to, that server that you are talking to, right? It can be able to know that, okay, this is actually coming from a user that has this particular IP address. So you have those keys, I mean, you have those addresses exposed and they are connected to that particular address. So that is a verifiable information. So if you want to build more private wallet, what are you going to do? The answer is to use BDK Koto, which is a compact lock filter client, right? So when you are building a wallet, there are certain fundamental questions that you need to ask yourself and be able to answer them and be able to build for what you are going to build, right? So there are standard practices that you should be able to have in your wallet. So which means I could choose to say, okay, enable more private transactions. And I'll be able to say, okay, a user enabled that I want to connect that user to a CBF client, I mean, BDK Koto client that will be able to send their transactions in a more private way and be able to interact with other nodes in a more private way. So you need to understand there are so many questions that you need to, what kind of database do I want to use? If I'm creating, let's say, a wallet that I want, a mobile wallet, for instance, SQLite is probably a good one, or I can even use a file database or RADB, whichever one that best serve my interest I'm going to select. So there are lots of libraries here, there are lots of tools here that are just made available for you to be able to select from. But you must understand that each one of them has this advantage or disadvantage this way or this way, and be able to make the right choices for the kind of wallet that you want to build. I understand that in this during this hackathon, most of the focus is always okay, produce something, build something quickly within the shortest range of time. So you can always be able to do that, and I just invite you to be able to look at look at the book of the BDK, come to this BDK CLI 2, look at how most of these are implemented, and you could be able to see some of the approaches that have been taken to be able to implement them. Why? Because the code base is rebuilt. Uh, there are certain standard practices that have been put in place for you to be able to follow, and you should be able to have something reasonable and presentable. Yeah, so that's how we answer that question.
I don't know if anyone else have questions.
Yes, if anybody have questions, you can be able to ask.
And is it possible also to share the documentation in the Discord channel, if possible?
Yeah, sure. I will. You can be able to share that. Um, Yeah, so we can see that that transaction has not yet been confirmed, but I mean, if you take the URL and keep monitoring it, maybe in the next 10 minutes it should be confirmed. But there are certain resources that are very important for you to understand BDK, right? The first is the BDK website. So you have, you just go to bitcoindevkit.org. That's the website. You can get all the information about BDK projects, and you can get a link to the repository and everything, every person that is there contributing and all that. Or you might have certain questions that, let's say you want to contribute to BDK, or you want to build on Bitcoin on BDK, and you have certain questions, certain things that you don't understand. There is a Discord channel that is always welcoming to newcomers. You can be able to ask your questions there, technical questions, ask anything that you don't understand, and someone will definitely be willing to help you out. Sometimes it's users of the library, sometimes contributors of the library. They can be able to assist you, right? And then there is the code base, github.com/bitcoin dev kit. You can go there, visit the repository, visit the project GitHub page, and you can see all the listings of all the libraries available and how you can be able to pull down any of the code bases or contribute or pull down the code base and be able to use it in a way that you want to use. Um, I think that's the end of my presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peter. And thank you also to all the people that attended this learning session, and all the people also that will watching on YouTube live. So thank you guys. Have a good night and see you. Bye bye.
All right, bye.